My name is Marlene Hassan Nahon. I'm 43 years old and I come from a family which has deep roots in political life. I grew up around political life and public service, and it's something that I've always lived and breathed and felt very familiar with. The sense of duty to other people, helping people and trying to make our community and our environment a better place to live in. I grew up having different ideas of what I wanted to do. Everyone in my family or around us was doing law or had a law degree or barrister, solicitor, and I felt like there were too many of them around. So instead I decided to study history of art, and I went to Manchester University, where I spread my wings and learned to live by myself, made great friends and did a wonderful degree. After that, I started having children and took some time off. And when they got a little bit older, I decided to embark on a postgraduate diploma in journalism and communications. And right around that time, there was a by-election that was about to take place. And given that I felt a little bit nervous about how the political climate was panning out, I decided to stand with the party that I stood with at the time, the Gibraltar Social Democrats. Since then, I continued to campaign in the political world. I stood with the GSD in 2015, but my stint with them came to an end a few months afterwards, and I have been sitting in Parliament as an independent member of Parliament since then. I wanted to do something more with my platform whilst I was in Parliament. So me and a few other colleagues and friends decided to start a civil society platform, a grassroots movement where the system and the hierarchy was totally horizontal. And we had great debates and participation and interaction with the community, interaction with people from all sides of the political divide. A couple of years went by and we decided that we wanted to present a political project for this election, and that shows that we came bottom up. We are a political party by the people, for the people, which means so much more than starting from the top and going down. So it's a very proud trajectory that we hold here in Together Gibraltar, a trajectory of faith in its people, of listening, of participation, and I genuinely feel that we are a representative platform of people who reflect all sorts of diverse opinions and demographics of Gibraltar life, and I think that is crucial at the moment. I'd like Gibraltar to be much more mindful environmentally. Firstly, I think we can be a model for the environment. I think it's much easier to rein in the frameworks that would make us a much cleaner society. I think that we need to take a view which is a long-term view for Gibraltar, not a view that just renews every 4 years with a political project and a booklet that every government dishes out to every household in order to gain brownie points and elections. I think we need to halt construction, or at least have a plan, a long-term plan that protects our environment, that protects our surroundings. I feel like we have a lot to do when it comes to civil rights, gender imbalance, equal rights, women's reproductive rights. I think that we need to have a much more progressive approach in law and order, a more therapeutic and rehabilitative approach. We should always be challenging the status quo, and we should be looking forward and not backwards, and not scared to embrace changes that really need to be done. We need an economy that's more diverse. We need an economy that's going to focus on more innovation and on the future, to remove us from the dependency of the economic pillars that we are using at the moment, that we're depending on at the moment, which are unsustainable, and everybody knows that. We also need to focus on transparency, on measures of transparency. We all know that Gibraltar's level of transparency is pretty dismal, and I think it's time that we look at ourselves and find mechanisms and ways to make our community more accountable and more equal and fair for everybody, not just for a few interested parties that always seem to benefit from this lack of transparency and the lack of frameworks to stop this lack of transparency.